Có thời điểm nó hết khó khăn đâu, chính xác. Làm eSport ở Việt Nam mà không có một công ty lớn đứng sau lưng, thật sự đấy là một cái việc rất là khó. Không biết là bao giờ 23 mới có những cái hợp đồng lớn, mới có những kiểu các nhà hảo tâm, các nhà đại gia chống lưng, hoặc là kiểu có một sắc đăng nào đấy tự dưng có một ngày lướt trên game, Facebook Gaming hoặc là YouTube Gaming, bỗng dưng nhìn thấy tag 23 Creative VN, thấy đây là một cái tên sáng tạo, mặc dù trong những cái con người ở trong đấy thì cũng không có gì sáng tạo cho lắm, nhưng mà chỉ cần một cái tên hay thôi, họ rót vốn tầm khoảng 2 đến 3 tỷ vào 23 thì chắc chắn là năm sau sẽ có 4 người cast trên 4 kênh cùng lúc, thậm chí là TI này luôn. Còn giờ thì chưa được đâu các bạn ạ. Tôi vẫn một mình một kênh thôi. Thật ra thì mình cũng quên mất mình không check DBC Point đấy.
You know, another hero would fit in perfectly with?
I think the front line that you guys are talking about still look nice. I think they still need some like they need like either
Centaur. I really like
Old 11 Centaur.
Yes, I really like.
Nice.
I think he's still one of. It's not bad in lane, and I mean, let's be honest. We've been seeing how the off lane is cut the creep wave between tier 1 and tier 2 double stout shield. It's just simple to play, and you get a ton of farm.
And works so well with Drow. That's your panic button. It's like, oh my god, they're going on a Drow, just stampede, and she can actually back out away. We'll take the brew.
Brewmaster splits the other team wants to get out of there.
It's
a lot of
way better
control.
team fight though too.
Yeah, it gives them team fight because that's what they were lacking. I think that's the big thing there.
Right, and of course also Brewmaster, you know, when you're level 6, even if you do end up Drown and Prophet are normally fairly greedy heroes, so having heroes that just rely on levels rather than gold is probably the way to go as well.
This hero. I think we're going to see a lot more of it this. Pretty much once she gets 1 or 2 items, you cannot stop her split pushing all 3 of your lanes. It's one of the most irritating things. It's like playing versus a 50-minute anti-mage way earlier.
And now they have a way to kill the wards as well, right? They can song and kill those serpent wards as well to be able to set up for the team fights. They have ways to get the Earthshaker and the Sand in. You were mentioning pre-blink daggers, it might be a little difficult. I know a lot of times we've seen the Nagas not really played around the song, but in this one, Naga could come in with song, and then that's the Shaker and the Sand getting on top of Drow Ranger. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. You can use it. Like the song, right? Defensive or offensive. That's one of the things. You don't see it like that.
Radiant's turn to ban. Ten seconds. 5 seconds remaining.
We're just saving till last?
I think they definitely both play, but they need a playmaker. I think someone to play with Sand King.
What about Broodmother? Is that a hero right now?
I don't think you can 9th pick it, right? That's the problem. They don't have last pick.
9th pick it, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm seeing like NP Drow. I'm like, this looks like a pretty okay. Brood game if they could, but
Liquid, they can obviously, you can put Naga middle depending on. The problem is they don't have last pick, so Keen will have like the overall, like, we have to pick someone who's good versus Naga and whoever Liquid picks here. What is that? Ember gets banned. We were taught Ember's one of those heroes, like, I don't know what else to pick. We're just going to take Ember. It's always going to be good. Never going to be bad, really.
I mean, yeah, that's very true. It's these triple heroes that can get on top of the Drow Rangers. What I see is those 3 bands. Taking their time.
still going back to that Grimstroke pick. I really want to see like why, because I think that hero is not unplayable, obviously, if Liquid's picking it, but it feels so much weaker than like every other 5 right now.
Yeah, I feel like if you see the Grim, you'd expect like a Beastmaster, a Doom, one of those big combos, but this time not really any.
Inkswell just got destroyed. That skill. Oof.
You actually, it like barely even stuns level up now. Even if you do the full duration, it's just like very mediocre.
You have to be right next to your core, which you never want to be, first off, and then they have to be right next to them. I mean, it's definitely super nerfed, but
yeah. The silence still can be okay versus Brew. I mean, they have so much attack speed. I feel like this thing is gonna. I see Kunkaban. That could be the Brood, right?
It could be.
That could be the Brood.
I think we saw it once at the minor, played by 33.
Yeah, but that.
Inkswell just got destroyed. That skill.
You actually, it like barely even stuns level. Yeah, no. Even if you do the full duration, it's just like very mediocre.
You have to be right next to your core, which you never want to be, first off, and then they have to be right next to them. I mean, it's definitely super nerfed, but yeah.
The silence still can be okay versus Brew. I mean, they have so much attack speed. I feel like this thing's gonna. I see Kunkaban. That could be the Brood, right?
It could be.
That could be the Brood.
I think we saw it once at the minor, played by 33.
Yeah, but that.
Still, even though I'm not a big fan of the Medusa, I think they have everything. They're just going to push the towers. You have this Brewmaster and Medusa now to control team fights. I think it's going to be a pretty uphill battle for Liquid, unless this Pugna has like a super good game.
Yeah, and they're going to be having the time to farm up both Medusa and Drow, because I don't think Liquid's going to be able to end early. Right?
Yeah, I'm liking Keen. I think they can set the pace, and even if it does go to later stages, I mean, they still have a pretty decent shot versus this Naga Siren.
They do. With Medusa and Drow, yeah.
Alright, well, we're gonna find out what is going to happen here in this first game of the series. Will Keen Gaming indeed be victorious, as our panelists are expecting to? Let's find out in game number 1 of the series. We have Liquid Gaming, we have Keen Gaming, and we are getting ready for first game here at the MDL, Disneyland Paris Major. And who better to bring you that first game of the day than Capitalist? And let's.
We're underway.
Team Liquid, former TI7 champions whose recent TI performance dropped a little bit, sitting in 4th place, and have not had the most dominant season either. They're looking to be able to prove that their best days are not actually behind them, but somewhere near the future. Meanwhile, Keen have probably had the best run of it so far. They did pretty well for themselves at Dream League, managing to secure themselves that 5th, 6th, and then also just being able to take 1st place at ESL 1 Mumbai. This is a team that's been building up momentum heading into this tournament, Blitz.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think that aside from like the whole MVP snafu, like life's been pretty good for Keen, if I'm honest here.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boy Febby, but no, I think they're definitely in the upswing. It feels like they have good, consistent strategies. Everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing. And for me anyways, one of the most important things is that they're finally making Old 11 look like a Dota player again. Yeah. There was a time period where he got D2 obsessed was just dying.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you can't just like, you gotta die
out a little bit.
He was really, really good during the whole like Underlord, I'm gonna die 60 times.
But
now it's like, man, you gotta relax.
And I feel like these two drafts really demonstrate the differences in these teams. Keen has a very straightforward lineup. that we've seen a lot. We've seen these Draw Ranger strats come to fruition at ES, at the Major. Like, this has been a big deal, and they've got a good draw lineup around. Got mid-Medusa, Blind Hero in the Brewmaster. This is just kind of normal. This is going to be an easy lineup to while Team Liquid, this is much more complicated. What they're running a lineup specifically, maybe put into test.
Like game like dominant hero and a hero like Naga.
Yeah.
I really hate it when somebody like they just all in trying to clear the wave and stuff like that. Like you have to have a lineup that can also take towers yourself, because getting towers is how you create space for yourself. It's like if they had picked some like mid hero that just kind of passively sits there and cures your game, I think that kind of boring. More than anything, you usually get to that point. Why Liquid, they take this hero, plug them, he can push towers. Like he'll get that goal. He'll do 5 man. He'll pressure the towers, he'll take him fast. Plus, the fight is very good. The nether ward,
created. I already first have a pretty arduous lane be set up where we've got an old Tyrion with a 4-position Conka shot.
You didn't want that, did you?
the offlaner, you don't really love that. Pretty good regen. You're just naturally going to build things like Wraith Bands.
Yeah.
She's like one of the few carries that still, instead of upgrading for boots, she just gets more Wraith Bands. So she just rocks up with a ton of armor.
It's like the TV problem, right?
Yeah.
It's like, how do you pressure these heroes that have so much armor?
I played Wyvern plus, I was the Nature's Prophet against Naga. I can't remember what the support was. It was just literally like 2 days ago. It was like Naga +1. And I think the support didn't even do anything to us, but you never feel like you're harassing her enough. Like I sent Tree and Setter, my Wyvern was spamming out his Blunter Blast.
Yeah.
It doesn't really feel like you're making a dent in her space at all. So these like 2-on-2 non-kill lineups, I think kind of like benefit Naga in terms of the laning phase. Because she'll just sort of like farm right in front of you. She doesn't care. She's going to be really bold about it too.
Not only that, it's good for the laning phase, but it's also, I mean, theoretically, right, it's supposed to be good versus Draw Ranger. Right, the combination of being able to have a lot of wave clear, a lot of side lane pressure that you can throw down, but also be able to close the distance on that Draw Ranger. I feel like, the previous Draw Ranger, where it's like, oh, you want to be able to get close to her in order to kill that ultimate, like, it was this sort of, like, this ephemeral, oh, it has an impact, but you couldn't really tell. With this current Draw Ranger, with this extra damage, with being able to pierce armor, like you feel that. You feel that damage that comes in, and I feel like everybody is trying their best to now get on top of the Draw Ranger, even more so than they did before, simply to cut down on that extra damage that she's doing.
What was that hero? I think it was, did you watch Alliance's game when they played Naga? It was like Alliance versus, I want to say Gambit, where they had a Naga Siren, and Madara just kept like sending out illusions nonstop, and then what ended up happening was they were against a sniper that had like rapier, but all it took was like one good sleep.
Yeah.
After he'd used his BKB, it was just like you sleep, you get on top of him, you 4-shot him.
Yeah.
That's usually the way that things are done. I mean, Draw's a bit different because she gets Hurricane Pike. More annoying, and she can get, there's a lot of variety of builds now that make sense on. Like she can go 3rd item Ags with Maelstrom, and she's gonna mop up illusion. No problem.
And she's going to be super tanky too, so it doesn't even feel that great going on her first.
Yeah. It's the diversity of builds I think right now that makes Naga so fun to play.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna outlevel everyone. B, let me tell you, there's one thing I know: Dota players love hitting neutral creeps. Like that's, that's like I can see why. It's like an entertaining concept. You play. Everyone played World of Warcraft. You just like play some PvE. You become an NPC.
Yeah.
You're just like AFK. You're an archer. Like, it feels nice. Dota players love hitting neutrals. I've done extensive research. I've done the math. I felt like Jane Goodall, you know, I went into the wilds. I just saw a bunch of people.
You were doing a documentary on apes? Is that what was going on?
All Dota players. Somebody tank for you, you take it in like 20 shots, no problem. It just feels like a really good hero right now.
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be like any really notable weaknesses.
And it doesn't have to be the most important part of your draft.
Yeah.
Like, this is a drone strategy, but the way you're describing it, you can run it in so many different ways that you can have some other hero ultimately be your game winner. And here in this game, it's possible they're going to be able to run over Liquid and end it quickly, but they also have this really big plan B in this Medusa.
Yeah. I mean, what's really problematic about playing against Dro is because before it was like, oh, Dro's had bad laning phase, like, I guess we just win. But
yeah.
Now, because you can't hit Ancients, and Ancients give you, like, they're the only neutral that really that gives you that much XP. Like, it overpowers the amount that you would get in the lane. Plus, you just rotate one support over. Like, I can very easily see a game where Shaman then just takes mid. He gets like a really quick level 7, and they can just get online really fast. Your Dro pops out of the jungle at level 9. You start taking towers together, and Liquid just kind of crumbles under that onslaught. If you take, and the big part too is, I think the reason why the Pugna pick makes a lot of sense here, and then the reason why they took Dusa is because you want a hero then that pressures the mid tier 1 and doesn't lose your own tier 1. Because the way that this lineup gets online is you take Liquid's tier 1 mid, you take Liquid's tier 1 top, you place a ward near that shrine area, near that like top shrine area.
Yeah.
You get control of that, you go for a Roshan early on, then it's really hard for Liquid to 5-on-5 you. But if Liquid then takes your mid tower first, and you can consistently apply pressure and keep that tower alive because you have so much spam, like your spam doesn't really matter in early levels. Like Crow's not going to be a high enough level where he's going to be just like stroke of fate repeatedly into the lane.
Right.
So you need to get past a certain point, which is what I feel like people should learn. It's not just about having these like Earthshakers and stuff, because you need so many levels.
And how are we going to, like, you're talking about being able to take that mid tower and creating the space for your 3, 4, and 5 position to be able to come online, because that's where a lot of your team fight's going to be coming in, right? You have this Pugna who, yes, is naturally going to get big in farms and it's going to push towers and is going to be scary, but you're going to need your Sand King and Earthshaker to have their Blink Daggers, to have that initiation force.
And that's why you take a hero like Pugna, which is much more aggressive, and that can actually fight with you. I hate it when you don't enable your supports. I think that's probably, like, no, all jokes aside, that's probably the one thing that like core players in Dota pubs are like most guilty of. They don't enable their supports.
Yeah.
You can't, as a support, if you don't have a core that's willing to work with you, take towers, do anything on the map, you know, you just feel useless.
It's unrealistic to say, oh, my 4 and 3 position are going to take over the game, kill heroes, take towers, create space for my 1 and 2 position to farm the entire time. That's unrealistic, right? You want either your safe lane carry or mid carry to be able to move around with those heroes and make those fights happen.
So then I'll tell you why this Dusa pick.
Okay.
Because you have a Pugna that naturally wants to take a tower, and probably what Pugna does best is he really messes with those heroes that just like you can spam out of lane. You get hit by like 2 blasts, you suddenly have to go back, and they don't have a natural way to deal with the creep wave pushing into them.
Right.
I think you suggested somebody like OD.
Yeah.
Was that it? But I think the problem with OD in that situation is like can't really push the lane back as easily.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't really like dealing with the ward. Whereas like Medusa, you want to talk about a hero that takes care of the creep wave as it pushes into him. Medusa, you hit level 5, you just split shot him down with you just snake one wave.
Yeah.
Instantly that push is gone. which means like as a Pugna player, you have to just keep repeatedly blasting into the tower.
And your mana shield, you barely even feel the Pugna blast.
Yeah. So I think the hero, for me anyways, like it makes a lot of sense as to why Keen picked it. I don't think it was one of those heroes that they were planning on picking until they're like, oh, okay, they took Pugna. We need a hero that just stays there and will keep the tower alive.
And it gives you an answer to the Naga Siren initiation. It gives you an answer to illusions as well. There's a lot of reasons why this Medusa is looking good. Not entirely sure how much longer we're going to be going through this momentary pause. Of course, there's always going to be small delays on the opening day of any tournament, so hopefully we'll be able to see the game unfold soon, because this is definitely a hype series to start things off, and we're going to have a hype follow-up series. Pretty much no matter what, the follow-up series is going to be good. You're probably going to be seeing VP in the next series, and then it's a question of whether it's Keen or Liquid who's going to match up against them, and either one is a great opponent. Liquid and VP obviously have a very long history, and Keen, who have been on the come up, who have beat Liquid before at the last Dream League Major, also beat Evil Geniuses. They had a tougher time. Actually, no, I don't think they matched up against VP. They lost to Fnatic and Secret at the Dream League Major. So I actually don't remember the last time that that Keen has faced VP. So who knows? Maybe Keen is actually a fitting match against the CIS powerhouse.
Yeah, and Keen's a legit team.
Yeah, very much. We have yet, we kind of like, kind of addressed it, but we haven't really tackled it. For you, what's the difference? Why are we running Old 11 Furion and not Old 11 Brewmaster? Why are we running a support Brewmaster instead of a support Furion? Because we've seen support Furion plenty of times recently. It's been a while since we've seen the 5-position Brewmaster in the meta, right? That was like two or three patches ago.
That was like the secret thing where they just ran at you, and if they got the ulti off, that was
Puppy Brew just kind of like running around. What do you think the difference is? Why is the priority on Furion getting farmed here rather than Brew?
I'm not sure. I would have liked having Brew get a lot of levels. Like, you get a fast 6, you have a way to deal with Naga Illusion.
Yeah.
You can get on top of her pretty nicely. I think it's actually it's an above average hero in this game especially. Not certain. Maybe they just don't think like the Brew's gonna get many ultis off, or like they can't enable him as easily as they would NP.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're thinking to themselves like the timeline has changed and how quickly they want to pick fights.
I mean, it does feel like part of being able to put Furion as a 3 or 2 position.
CS:GO 的。
啊，然后等到一旦打到比赛过程当中，发现。
Time to find a snack.